Alright, for those of you that have asked about the vacuum system on my electric truck mount, I'm going to show you how it's made. You have to excuse the mess. I had a big tile job yesterday, and by the time I was done yesterday afternoon, I kind of just threw everything in here and didn't put it back the way it goes. Alright, the housing is just an aluminum housing. It's actually a fuel cell that I ordered from eBay. It was like 30 bucks. And what I did was I cut the front off of it, and I added some aluminum channel on each side and there at the bottom. And I just took a piece of expanded metal, I cut it to size, and I slid it in, so that way when I need to, I can just slide this back up out of there to access the vacuum motors. Now you can see inside right here, the vacuum motors are just mounted to the back of the housing with the 3 bolts, and of course there's the foam gaskets going in between the vacuum motors and the back of the metal. And then I have just some exhaust hoses right there that run out to exhaust the air back out of the expanded metal. Originally inside this housing I had a Pump Tech 356, and it was nice because I could fit everything inside, the pump and the vacuum motors. But when I moved up to the general pump, it didn't fit, so I had to mount it on top. Now I think this is the piece that most people have questions about. This is basically a 4-inch drain piece. It's made by Odie, and I'll show you a picture of it right here. You can get them from Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot. They're actually a lot cheaper if you buy them just from the hardware store rather than going to Amazon. But if you look, that red stuff between the PVC piece and the back of the metal is just some RTV silicone to seal it, and then it's attached with 1 screw on each side. You can see they're really long. I didn't bother cutting them. And then I have a 90-degree sweep coming out to the vacuum hoses, and then of course they're ran into the mighty waste tank. This is what the piece looks like after I get it ready. And of course there's the metal grate on this side, and you just unscrew that, and then this is what's left, and your 90-degree sweep, which is right there, or 90-degree elbow I should say, will fit inside here. And the 90s, you see they have like a female on one side and they have a male on the other side, and then they just slip right in. They make a good seal. Of course they're not glued or anything like that. And the only thing that I really do to this is, you can see that I trim these pieces down just with a Dremel. And I don't remember, I think I had bigger, well I know what it was, to put the washer on here. It wouldn't fit unless I trimmed this little channel right here, and so that's why I did it. It's just some screws, but they're not that big. The lighting is not very good in here. I'm trying to get this focused. But you need a washer on there to give you a little bit more surface area to tighten that nut down. And that's why. Now see, this one I didn't run a channel on it. I guess maybe it's made a little different, or maybe I used a smaller washer. So if your washer is a little bigger, you might need to do this to it. If not, then it'll work without it. But that's basically it. So the vacuum motor is up against the metal housing on one side, and that piece is up against the metal housing on the other. These two vacuum motors are the Amatec Lam 116765-13 models. I know a lot of people say they're more powerful motors that they make now, but I've been using these motors for years, and not only are they powerful, they last a really long time. So I don't really have any intention to go with any other model of number just because these have worked so well. And there's always going to be the naysayers that say, the electric system doesn't have the vacuum power, truck mount blower wheel, and whatever. But you know what? This has worked for me for many, many years. I get dry times of 3 to 4 hours, and it's hot and humid here, and I still get really good dry times with this system. So I don't have any intention on switching from this type of system anytime soon. And if you're looking for some good quality vacuum motors, I recommend the 116-765-13s. So if y'all have any more questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them or show you anything else you want to see.